talking today about how to raise your financial frequency. And I pre-plan these topics a bit just so my team can make a graphic for them. And then this morning I was like, "Oh, what did I say I was going to talk about today?" And I got so excited when I was reading and remembering that it was about this topic. So, Mary, good morning. Welcome. We are talking today about how to raise your financial frequency. And this is it's a good one. It's one of my favorite topics. Oh my gosh, Allison, good morning. How are you? It's early for you, sister. It's early for you and Mary. Laura, good morning. Oh my gosh. And y'all, I'll also do a PSA. Many of you know I scratched my cornea last week and couldn't see for a day. And I feel like I did something to it again last night. So if I'm crying while we've got my handy paper towel, it's probably not because we're super emotional. It's probably because the cornea is acting up. But we keep it going, right? We keep it going. So let me just welcome who's coming in. Oh, so good to see everyone. Heather, Sierra, good morning, loves. It's so good to see everyone today. Okay, so we're talking today about financial frequency. And here's what I want to know as we come in. Are you familiar with what a financial frequency is? Are you do you know that you have one? Do you desire to raise it? Let me know in the comments how familiar you are with this topic. If you have questions about it specifically. Michelle, good morning. It's so great to see you here. And then I see on LinkedIn, someone saying good morning. For some reason, it's just saying LinkedIn user. So I apologize. I can't see your name, but whoever you are, I am thrilled you're here. And if you want to pop your name in the comments too, I would love to know. Okay, so here is, Christine, good morning. Mary saying, let's raise it. Amen, Queen, right? That's what we're here for. So I love this topic because this is one of the biggest hidden things that will unlock your next level of sales and income. Thank you so much for the hearts. And here's the thing. Everybody has a financial frequency. Everyone has a financial frequency. I didn't know for many years that I had one, but I just knew that I kept kind of making the same amount of money every month, no matter what. And when I started diving into this and studying this stuff, it was just like you can kind of think about it, just like your body probably has a weight that you tend to just be around that's like your comfort zone. And you can tell if you've been eating a lot and maybe put it on the pads, it feels uncomfortable, right? Or vice versa, right? If you haven't been feeding and nourishing yourself a lot and you maybe lose some weight, but not in a healthy way, it may not feel good to you. So just like your body has a kind of like a weight set point, you also have a financial frequency. Now, how can you tell what it is? How much money you're making every month. What are your sales like? How much you bringing in? And then here's the other thing that I would invite you to look at, especially if you are committed to raising it, which I know so many of you are. Oh, by the way, Bambi, good morning. I'm so glad you're here. Does the amount that you desire to make, let's say this month, end of this year, whatever it is, does that feel bigger than you in any way? Does that feel bigger than you in any way? And that's how you can tell that you're not quite at that frequency yet. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. It's not something to judge yourself about. It's just an awareness. Okay. It's just an awareness of, oh, interesting, like that. So because that feels bigger than me, whether it feels like a big number or I feel unworthy of it in any way, then I'm not quite at that frequency yet. Oh, Jen on YouTube, good morning. It's so good to see you. Bambi, it was you on LinkedIn. Well, I'm thrilled you were here on Instagram. Allison, good morning. I was thinking about you this morning. It's so good to see you. And I bet you can think back to this. How many of you can think back to this in your own life where with whatever the first job is that you got, what were you making? I'm trying to think back to my first, oh gosh, I don't even remember what my first job was, but I was probably making $6 an hour, $7 an hour. And it was the first, I think I was serving ice cream at a local, this is it feels like child labor. I don't know if it was even legal to be working at that age, but either way it was. And that felt like a lot of money at the time. It was ooh, I could, I could go buy myself a treat at the end of the week if I wanted. Now, obviously that would feel like extreme poverty. And I want you to think back in your own life too. Oh, Deanna, good morning. I'm so glad you're here. I want you to think back in your own life too. Was there with your first job, if you were making that amount of money right now, how would you feel? For most of you, you'd probably be like, oh shoot, right? Like this is not going to cut it. And so when what's beautiful about this though, and what's exciting about this though, is that when you make the commitment to raise your financial frequency and to increase the level that you require for yourself every month, when you leap to that next level, like wherever you're at right now will start to feel small very quickly. And it's not making it wrong in any way, but it's like when you make like what I used to make every month, if I had a month like that right now, I would be like we couldn't pay the bills, and I was very comfortable at a certain level for a long time, for many years. So I bet you can relate to that. Allison is saying 27K per year was your first job out of college. It paid way more than if you got a job in New York, which was 22K. And I bet at that time you probably felt like I bet maybe you felt like you were living large, right? You're like, oh my gosh, like this is freedom. But now like you're going for that amount every month, at least, if not more, right? So that's the example. Like that's how it works. So we all have a frequency, and you can just tell by what is it that you're bringing in every month right now. Let me check the comments here. Bambi saying, I had a dream last night, short one financial frequency. I found a penny on a forest pathway, and then I went to pick it up and saw a dollar. Interesting. Then many dollar coins. Well, I like that dream. I love that dream. Allison saying, sure did, right? Yeah, but now you'd be like, oh crap, that's not going to cut it for us, because you personally have grown, and the amount that you require for your lifestyle, for yourself, and for your family is now different. And so as we're going for that next level of sales, of income, of wealth, of abundance, there's a desire in you, right? Because you're raising to a new frequency. And I know so many of you personally, and that's what's exciting about this, is like, I know each of you is going for a higher level. You're going for, and maybe it's twice what you're making right now every month. Maybe it's 10 times, like, I don't care, but whatever it is, that has a frequency to it. That amount of money has a frequency to it. And so the way to bring that in is you got to be a match to that frequency, right? So you got to start thinking about, we got so many women here on the live, but women and men, whoever, like, for the woman or man who brings in that amount of money, how do they think, act, speak, feel, etc. throughout the day? You must become a match for that amount if you want it to come in a quick and pleasurable and fun way. Cara, good morning. So good to see you. Bambi, that's true. I remember when we were working together, you were like, I don't have dreams. And you had I love this. This is exciting. I love this. So I want to talk, look, there's so many ways, so many ways to raise it. But there's one that I wanted to speak with you about this morning. And this was inspired by watching my son yesterday try to climb a set of stairs. And it's just so funny. As I was watching him, I was like, there's something in this that's a great lesson for me and for everyone here in the She Sells community. Elizabeth, good morning. So good to see you. So Jack he's almost 13 months now, and he's not walking yet, but his favorite thing to do now is to we've got these like glass spice containers, and a little, just like the spice containers you get at the grocery store. But to grab 2 of those. So he'll get like the thyme and the Italian seasoning. He loves paprika for something. Like, he's not eating this stuff. He just likes these bottles. But to grab them and put one under each hand and to crawl like that. But he moves really fast because he's got like almost sliders under his hands with these things. So he like flies across the wooden floors in our house with these little spice containers. And it's so funny and it's so cute. And they're like, the tops are all broken on these things now because he'll take them and fling them at the end. But he's also very interested now in trying to climb up the stairs. So his room is on the 2nd floor of our house. And the master, most of the time we're down here on the 1st floor. So we're hanging out with him down here a lot, but there's this wooden set of stairs that goes up to his room. And so I was watching him yesterday because he's getting excited about learning to climb these stairs. Like, he's really wanting to go up them on his own. And he's done it a few times, like with our help of like boosting him from stair to stair. But yesterday he was really trying to go up, but he didn't want to let go of these glass spice containers. So he's like sitting at the front of the stairs and he's got a container in each hand, and he's like trying to keep him in his hands and climb and pull himself up on the next stair level while holding on to them. And I'm watching, and he's struggling and he's like crying and he's upset because he's kind of getting traction, but then the glass containers are slippery and he's like falling back off. And I was watching him, I was like, buddy, it'll be so much easier if you just like, if you let those go, they'll still be here at the bottom of the stairs for you. But if you just let them go, you'd have more traction with just your hands if you were climbing up. And of course, he's not understand. I'm trying to like, heart to heart communicate this to him. He's not understanding it necessarily, but he didn't want to let go. He did not want to let go of these spice containers. And so he only got up like a stair or two before he just gave up in frustration. And I thought, gosh, what a great analogy for those of us who are committed to going to that next step in our lives, that next level. Your sales, your income, your wealth is like, what is your version of the spice containers that you're holding on to? What is that thing that has given you comfort for a period of time, but is really holding you back right now? What is your version of that? Because if he had just been willing to let go of those, he could have moved much faster and he'd be like exactly where he wanted to be, but he didn't want to let them go. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, I was like, thank you, universe. I love how this stuff works. Like these real life stories, are always fun to me. Kalua, good morning. So good to see you. And so what is that? What are your spice containers? Is it, I know for many of us, like myself included, so often it's a feeling of not deserving. It's a feeling of unworthiness. It's a feeling of who me, to have that. Perfect example. And I don't know if Allison is still on this live stream, but she's one of my dear girlfriends, my mastermind partner. I've taken her program. It's exceptional. And she and I have a call every Monday. So Allison, if you're still here, let me know in the comments. But we, so many of you know, we've been in the process of trying to find a new place to live. And last week, everything started clicking like very, very, very fast. It was very different from what we thought it was going to be for now, but it's perfect and it's way better than what I was expecting. And so we found this place in North Carolina. So I know we got some North Carolina peeps. So we're going to be back for like 9 months before we have to go up to Maine. I'm so excited. And we're moving in like 3 weeks. But it's beautiful. And we're renting this place for now. But the place we found we wanted to live, the one they had available that was like something I would want to live in was the penthouse unit in this very nice complex in downtown Durham. And, I was talking to Allison about it this week and I was like, oh my God, like, of course, the one they have available is the penthouse. And I was like, but who am I? Like, I was experiencing some self-doubt around like, who am I to have this? And it's like 3 times our mortgage right now and yada, yada. And I was like, gosh, like, did it have to be this one? Could they have not had one that was like more in my range? Isn't it funny how we think that way? And she did a reframe and she was like, what if that was the one that was reserved for you? Like, what if that was the one that was reserved for you and you flipped it that way? And I was like, yes, thank you. So girl, I don't know if you're still on the call right now on the live stream, but that was like, yes. And it was really, I had to step into that feeling of like, no, this is normal for us to live in a penthouse and this is okay. And it's all right. And like, and it's very right. Like it feels good, but I definitely push the edge about what I feel worthy or deserving of. And so, for so many of us, thank you for I'm so excited I know so many of you are in North Carolina, not everyone, but I'm so excited to see my loves again, back there. So, for you, maybe it's something similar. Like, I think it is for so many of us, right? Can any of you relate to that? Where you're like, the thing that you need to release is the unworthiness, right? Thank you, Heather, for the hearts. It's the feeling of who me to have this, because as you raise your frequency and as you take these leaps, like it can happen fast. This whole thing, we've been thinking about moving for like close to a year now, and it just didn't work. Like it wasn't, thank you so much for the hearts. Kalua, you're saying you can relate to that, right? Like nothing was really happening. We weren't really pushing it. We're kind of like, oh, we'll know when it's time. But when it came together, it was like literally in a week, this whole thing has happened, and it's flowed so perfectly and so easily. And it's been like, yes, this is easy and done, but it can happen fast. And that leap can happen really fast when you're doing the the vibrational work to be ready for it. But you gotta release any feelings of unworthiness, any feelings of self-doubt, any old, so, and sometimes it's behaviors, right? Like, is there a self-sabotaging behavior that you are holding on to? Let me just check comments here. Allison saying it creeps up too much. I need these lives to help me reframe and reset. Well, girl, I'm here for you. I'm so glad. Yeah, it's like, it's more about just how much are you willing to allow in your life? And that's been a lot of what I feel like has been showing up for me lately, of like, how much are you willing do you notice for you when something really great happens, you're like, okay, well, that's it for now. Like, that's what I can accept for now. And then I gotta like get that under my belt, and then maybe I'll take some more later. And you even subconsciously like push back on an opportunity, or on, there's like, maybe, you got the house, but then you also really wanted a car, but you're like, oh, that's too much too soon, even if financially you could do it. You all with me here? Because that's your own limit in terms of how much you're willing to receive. But, in terms, like, look at what is the thing you need to release. Is it thank you so much, Laura. We're so excited. And I'll share with you all some photos of the view. It's so beautiful. And I'll do a little video tour when we move into it. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But, behaviors, like, I used to self-sabotage a lot. Like, I would numb at the end of the night. I would work really hard work hard all day long, and was feeling stuck and kind of like I was spinning in terms of my results. This was for many years of my life. And I wasn't aware of what was going on. But I remember at the end of the night, I would be just so depleted energetically that my go-to was like to numb out in front of the TV and like watch some reality TV and like just binge on ice cream. And that was like, I didn't want to release that. I knew it was holding me back, but for years I kept doing it because it was how I felt comfortable. It was how I felt like I got some sort of like relief and release, but it was really the thing that was holding me back. And as soon as I released it, health shifted, opportunities shifted. So whatever that thing is for you, that it's time to release, again, there's no judgment on it, but it's just know that the thing you're clinging to is the thing that's actually holding you down. It's weighing down your frequency, your financial frequency. Okay. Say we can move in with you, girl. I tell you what, and I think I'm going to host an intensive there, because the view is so amazing. So you can you can move in as long as you want. But I do think I'm going to be hosting an intensive there because it's just super high vibe and it's super fun. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share today and just notice today with no judgment. What are your spice containers? What are you gripping onto that are making it so much harder for you to get up to your next level, that it's just time to release? And if you it will feel uncomfortable when you release them because you haven't experienced yet what it's like to be on the other side. But I can tell you, as soon as you do, it's like you've been holding yourself down. And then you're like, you can rise up, right? You can go to the next stair. You'll achieve that next level of financial frequency there. So I love seeing all of you this morning. This is like such a beautiful way to start the day. And that's what I got for you this morning. So many of you are already in this program, and I did just want to invite, for those of you who aren't, I would encourage you, like, if this is resonating, join She Sells All Access. It's our premier monthly membership. It's $99 a month. And if you're like, I want monthly coaching from Elise, I want access to this type of training, I want to raise my frequency, and maybe you're not at a level yet for some of the higher level coaching I do, like, join that program. It's fun, Allison, that you're here, because this month we're doing a special live Q&A with my integrator. And Allison, you introduced me to her, but she's been the right hand for some, oh my gosh, amazing, mega successful entrepreneurs, Kathy Heller, Sherry Salata, and she's going to come on and help you with everything related to systems to help you grow and scale. your sales and your business. And she's just a genius. So if you want to get coaching from her and get her tips to help you feel very supported in building the right structure and systems to grow your sales, then join elisarcher.com/training. You can get registered. Allison, you are so welcome. I love you all. I'm grateful for you all. We're talking tomorrow about, I saw the topic. I think we're talking about how to stop apologizing for who you are. So it's going to be good. It's going to be so good. So join. I can't wait to spend time with you. I'm grateful for you. Mwah. Have an amazing, amazing morning. And I'll see you all soon. Bye.